Hello and welcome to another lecture of the course Aquaculture. Today we are starting the major topic age and growth estimation and its significance in aquaculture. Within this major topic, today we are going to discuss the significance of age and growth studies. Now, when we talk of age and growth studies or information on age, then that is a kind of basic information to manage any population, be it any animal if you are talking, um, fish you are talking, or even in case of humans. In case of humans also you can understand that if we do not have age related information, age specific information, then it becomes very difficult to manage that population in terms of maybe many welfare schemes that you have heard of. For example, uh, we know that what is the age structure of our population. There is census, there are many other um, government agencies which are working and getting information of the human population from different regions of the country. So if we are having age specific information, then we can also have information on how many children are dying because of hunger, because of malnutrition, or stunting problem, or whatever problems are there related to age and life stage of a person, that we can identify and work accordingly, that in which group, in which region, what kind of problem occurs. And based on that, you must have heard that there are many schemes which are dedicated to welfare of children, dedicated to welfare of older people, or based on economic classification or social classification. You can have many other things, but every time you will have to relate that with age. Only then you can have better specific information in order to manage that population. Even if we go to in our family, if we are having a newborn, then we carry that child. When we carry that child to pediatrician, we are asked to monitor the age related growth. A booklet is provided in which there is a graph, and we have to match the growth pattern with related to age, and that ensures that our child is having you know normal growth pattern, normal growth rate. If anything goes beyond that range, if it does not match what is expected, the growth with the progress of age is expected, then we need to take appropriate actions, and pediatricians need to work upon that. Similar thing is there in case of fishes also, that this information, age and growth information especially, that has a strong influence on many of its population characteristics. And if we are having scientifically valid um, information on the basic population structures, then we can manage that population in an excellent way. So let's discuss one by one that how age and growth studies are very important. There are many ways to describe the significance of age and growth studies. We can discuss one by one. Um, you may find it differently in many other books or literature, published literature. Say, for example, calculation of growth rates. As I just gave you the example of human babies, here also we need to have information on that what is the growth pattern, growth rate of the fish with the progress of age. In fact, that is one of the fundamental requirements while selecting a candidate species for aquaculture. We must have information that this fish will grow to certain marketable size in a very limited duration, a specified time period. And if that time period suits us, then we select that candidate species for aquaculture, so that the profitability in the aquaculture practice is there. and the entire aquaculture system is sustainable and economically viable. So information on growth, in fact, is very necessary, and that is related to age. By aging in numerous individuals over the full range of sizes in a population, it is possible to generate growth curve for that population. This enables us to determine how productive the species. The same thing, we must have, in fact, information on that how fast a fish will grow in its different life stages. For example, we all know that there are different life stages. When fish hatches from the fertilized egg, it's very tiny. We often call it fry. That fish fry, growth rate of fish fry is much faster than the older fishes. Now, the growth pattern of that fish is very fast, and after a certain age, the growth is still there, but that uh, slows down drastically. In the beginning, the growth rate is very fast. Then later in the life, the growth slows down. Ultimately, it slows down drastically, because fishes are, the organisms, the animals, which show growth until they die. So there will be growth, but the pace of growth will slow down drastically in the older fishes. When the growth rate is faster, that means there will be requirement of more nutrients, more energy are required by the fish during the early stages of life. And as they proceed in age, they progress in age, the requirement of the feed, the requirement of the nutrients with respect to body weight of the life stage of the fish will decrease, will go on decreasing. We often, in simpler terms, we often call it like the ration size of fry is more than the fingerling, and the ration size of fingerling is more than the young one, and ration size of the young one is more than the adult. So, this is because of the growth pattern, the growth rate. When the growth rate is faster, there will be more of the nutrients required, more of the feed required. So, in order to understand this, if we are unable to understand that when the growth is faster, when we need to provide more food in terms of body weight, then our aquaculture practice may not be that profitable if we are not having that information on age and growth pattern related to different life stages. So that way, calculation of growth rates can be done, which may be taken as a reference, and that will decide the performance of your aquaculture practice for that particular candidate species. Rational management and predicting future fishery stocks. In fact, this is more so in case of natural resources. If we are having, if we are having age and growth information, then we may also understand that in a given area, in a given region of the natural water body, what is the total number of any given fish species, what is the total biomass of that particular fish population in that area, all the members of one fish species which we are going to study, all the members, how many numbers are there, what is the total weight, and what is the age structure of that population. Age structure is again very necessary. Why it is very necessary? Because the fish of different stages in natural environment also, they may require different type of feed, and they may require different type of habitat. For example, there may be different nursing ground and different breeding ground than the feeding ground they were growing. So, they may move from one place to the other, and ultimately at a given point of time, at a given location, what is the status of that fish population, and how you can go for fishing. If you are having the idea that, okay, in a given region, for example, if we are having maybe 1000 kilogram of a particular fish species which we are intending to fish out. Now, if the total is 1000 kilograms, how many of them are to be fished out? Why I am saying this? Because we cannot fish out the very young stages. We cannot fish out the brooders. We cannot fish out the even the adult stages in the natural environment which have not contributed to recruitment, which have not bred at least once. It is always advisable to go for fishing. Only those fishes are to be caught which have bred in the natural system at least once, so that the population remains stable. You get enough recruitment for the next year. So all such kind of decisions, that how we should rationally exploit the existing stock, that all depends on basic information on age and growth and other related basic biological parameters. If we are doing that, then we can maintain the sustainability of that operation. For example, if there are different references of, like, maximum sustainable yield or maximum economic yield, whatever our objective is, that varies from one region to the other, from one habitat to the other, from one country to the other, that may vary. So whatever our objective is, if we are having this information, then we can have better management provisions, which may help us to rationally exploit the resource and keep it sustainable for future use also. Now, as I told you that while studying a fish population, we need to have information on age structure of that population. Say, for example, if there are 1000 number of fishes, then how many are young, how many are young stages, or you can say 0+ age group, how many are older than this, they are 1+ age group, how many are in 2+, how many are in 3+ year age group. So 0+ year age group, 1+ year age group, 2+ year age group, 3+ year age group, and so on. So you will have to get information on the complete age structure of that population. That is, as I gave you the example of human beings, that when government has to launch any new scheme, it gets information on that in a particular region, if females are needy of some kind of help, or if very small children are in need of some kind of help, students which are in need of some kind of help. So there are different type of schemes depending on the need of the population. So we will have to, accordingly, we will have to identify the challenges of each age group of the population in the given environment, because here we are talking of natural environment. Especially if we are having natural environment where the fish population is having all the life stages, so there are many different species also, there are many different organisms, flora and fauna, which are living in the same environment, same ecosystem. So the fish which is occupying its own space in the ecosystem, how much number, how much in terms of biomass is allowed to be there in the ecosystem, you can say, the carrying capacity of that ecosystem, and how much share is of the fish population which you are studying. So accordingly you will have to study the challenges of each of these age groups. And if, say for example, if somehow fishing has been done, overfishing has been done, and you get very low numbers of 0+ and 1+ age group, that means if the fish is usually breeding at 2+, If it is breeding at 2+ age group, 2+ year age group, then what will happen? If you have in this year, if you have caught more numbers of 0+ and 1+ year age group fishes, then next year there may be less number of brooders which can contribute to young ones in that particular environment. So you will have to restrict the fishing of that particular age group. You will have to make provisions. So that is possible if we are having information on size and age composition of the fish population. And that is why in many countries across the world, this is something which is a routine practice. In routine, the government has provisions to get information on size and age, composition of the fish population, as well as number of the fishes in particular environment. So on a routine basis, there are vessels which in the marine environment, or there are agencies, government agencies, which collect information on, say, length, weight, number, and then those kind of data are used, and we also go for age estimation. There are many other methods of age estimation that we will discuss later in the other lecture. So the next point is fish stock biomass mortality rate. I told you that when we are dealing with fish population, then the fish population, say for example, if you are studying fish population in a riverine environment, I can give you example of the Ganga river. Ganga river, we all know that originates from Gangotri, and by traveling through different states, it ultimately goes down into the Bay of Bengal. So what happens, say you are going to study Labiorhita population, Rohu population in river Ganga. Then in river Ganga, Labiorhita is found in all these stretches all along the river Ganga. But since it is too long, about 2,500 or something kilometers, the river Ganga stretch. Now, fish from different locations, for example, if you are collecting fish samples from upper stretch, just after Haridwar, you are collecting the Labiorhita population, and you are also collecting Labiorhita population from maybe in the middle stretch like Prayagraj or Varanasi, and then you are also collecting Labiorhita population from other places, in Bihar and Bengal, like Bhagalpur or other places. And what happens, that fishes, although they are from the same species, but they try to complete their life cycle in a defined range. And if, say for example, if the fishes from upper stretch are confining up to Kanpur, you can say, so, and they are not going beyond. Another group is confining, say, up to Varanasi. Then third group is in the lower stretch. So if upper stretch, middle stretch and lower stretch are having distinct conditions for the survival, growth, feeding and breeding of Labiorhita living in that region, then although Labiorhita is found, Rohu is found in all the three regions, they are of the same species, but they have different biological and habitat characteristics, and based on that, each one will be called a separate stock. Fish stock of Labiorhita in river Ganga, we can say, is divided into three, just as an example. Now, we have to ensure, for proper management, we have to ensure that whatever habitat conditions are required in region A or region B or region C that are met for the Rohu population of this region, and similarly for other regions. To get information in order to devise management strategies and make policies regarding the production of Rohu and ensuring the diversity of Rohu, and if there are any threats, then conservation strategies of Rohu. For each specific region, the strategies will be different, and those strategies will only be possible if we are having complete scientific information on these population characteristics. So, fish age is crucial in understanding fish stock biomass and mortality rates because it directly impacts their reproductive capacity, with older fish often contributing significantly more eggs to the population. More eggs, total number of eggs when we are talking. It's not like per kg body weight. Per kg body weight, that can be average, but since they are of large size, older fishes, they contribute more number of eggs. So, we will have to act accordingly, and if we are not having age and growth related information with us, then this kind of information, which is very necessary for management strategies as well as for policy making, that becomes difficult. Then this one is very crucial in natural fisheries as well as aquaculture: age at first maturity. This information, in fact, we must have the information on life history, traits or characteristics with the progress of age for entire life cycle of the fish. That is very necessary in order to understand its biology and physiology, so that you can act accordingly when you are using that candidate species in aquaculture, or if you are managing that fish population in the natural environment. Here, age at first maturity is very crucial, very important. There are certain fish species which may show maturity when they are 1+ year age group or 2+ year age group, but there are certain fishes which show maturity at a very later stage. For example, some fishes may show maturity at 5+ or 6+ year age group. So, if you do not have that information, that at what age, at what size the fishes are going to breed for the first time in their life, then you may end up catching or fishing those fishes which have not bred even once in their lifetime. And if you are doing this, that means you are going to affect the total fish biomass of that particular species in the population, and ultimately the fishery of that target fish species may collapse. So, and in aquaculture, if you are doing this, in aquaculture we know that one of the essential requirements and one of the first inputs, in fact the first input, is the availability of good quality fish seed at the desired time, in the desired number, of the desired quality. How that is to be ensured? You cannot ensure this by depending on the natural environment. So, you will have to develop and standardize the technique of induced breeding. When doing induced breeding, you need to have information on age at first maturity. Otherwise, how you are going to select the brooders when you are expecting them to mature, to be ready for using them into induced breeding. So, age at first maturity is necessary for identifying and raising brooders of good quality, which can then be utilized to get more number of young ones of the candidate species which you are intending to select for aquaculture. So, that way it is very important, and age at first maturity is also very important with relation to the number of eggs produced. age at first maturity, that means at what age the fish is going to breed for the first time, and at that point of time what will be the total number of eggs that will be released, that we call as fecundity. And when it will progress in age, when the fish will become older, whether the number of eggs produced per kg of their body weight will be same, or it will just it will slow down, or what kind of trend it will be showing. That information is also very crucial. Why? Because that way you can calculate, you can assess that what could be the recruitment in terms of total number of fertilized eggs, total number of eggs, how many eggs will be produced. So that way you can have a better idea that how your population dynamics of that region of a candidate species is going to change. So and even in aquaculture also, when you are doing induced breeding, then if you are knowing that this particular fish is going to lay this much number of eggs, for example, IMCs, particularly Labiorota, which can produce even 2 lakh eggs per kg body weight. 1 kilogram of fish may produce about 2 lakh eggs per kg of its body weight. I mean, and there are certain other fishes which produce few, maybe 2000 or 3000 or 4000 per unit weight, if you go for studying their fecundity. So if you are having the information, then you will also have the strategy to manage that much eggs. If you are not knowing that Rohu is going to produce lakhs of eggs, then you may not be having the facilities for taking care of those eggs in order to get more young ones. So that is very crucial, age at first maturity. Then estimation of annual spawning success, that is related to the previous point, age at first maturity. As I told you that fish brooder of different age groups, when they attain maturity for the first time, the fecundity per kg of their body weight may be different. And when they are maturing, I mean they are progressing in age, when they are becoming older, the number of eggs to be produced by that fish per kg of its body weight will be different. Now, a trend you will have to observe and study, and with regard to that trend, that what kind of trend, whether the number of eggs or produced is increasing with age or decreasing with age or random, whatever, that you can have. And with that, what is the age structure of your population, how many brooders are there, how many age groups you can consider as brooder. Suppose if 2+ year age group is going to breed for the first time, age at first maturity is 2+, for example. And if you are having 2+, 3+, 4+, 5+ age groups in your in the population where you are studying, then 2+ will also breed, 3+ year age group will also breed, 4+ year age group will also breed, and so on. You will have to take into account how much young ones are to be produced by 2+ year brooders, how much from 3+ year brooders, and like that for other groups also. And that way you can have a clear idea that what is the recruitment that you expect, or that is ideally expected from that environment, and you can have the management decisions accordingly. So that is something very important in order to have better aquaculture operation as well as management of natural fisheries populations. Predicting fish population dynamics, that is very important again. We all know that although fishes may be living in one region, but I told you that fishes may have their feeding ground different from their breeding and nursing ground. Now, when I am saying that they may be having feeding and breeding ground separately or nursing ground separately, that may be within the extended home range that that one fish stock is having, but they are moving from one place to the other. And when they are moving from one place to the other, say for example, if this is the region A, this is the region B, if the fish population which is living in a place in a specified region, feeding and growing, after attaining maturity, it is moving to breeding or nursing ground, that means certain number of fishes from this region A must have moved to the region B. So, number in region B of that particular fish species could have increased, and number of individuals in region A could have decreased. That means the entire population structure could have changed, entire age structure of that area could have changed. If we are not having that information, that when they are going, what age group is going, then and when they are coming back after breeding, they are coming back, brooders come back, and then after getting good nursing conditions, these young ones may also come back to feeding ground where they can get better opportunity to feed and grow. So, if we are having age structure of region A and region B, then accordingly we can go for management strategies, how to manage now with changed age structure of region A, and how to go to manage changed age structure of region B. And then we can have policies made accordingly, fishing or providing food or something. So, that way, the population dynamics, fishes keep on moving from one place to the other, and how you are going to manage, how you are going to have information on that, how much from this place have moved to this place and how many have come back. You must have studied the terms migration, then emigration going outside, and then immigration coming inside. So, that may increase the number and the proportion of different age groups. So, if we are having age and growth studies, then we can have this information in a better way, and that will help us in order to manage the population. I have been mentioning about devising management strategies, taking in management decisions and policy making. That is one of the very crucial points while doing fisheries and aquaculture activity. In fact, I've just taken one random diagram, and I probably gave the source also. If it has not been given, then we can um, add into it. Here, what I try to show that in an ecosystem there are different groups, like predators may also be there, bottom feeders, zooplankton feeders, plant feeders, phytoplankton feeders, and this is just one type of ecosystem which is being shown on the basis of you can say energy transfer, you can say food production or consumption. So, in an aquatic ecosystem, you will have to decide that which target fish species you are focused to study. For example, if you are studying, say, um, common carp, then you will have to take care that how much common carp, what size class of common carp, what age structure of common carp can occupy this much of region in terms of anything, whatever you are studying, and what is their food items, what is the source of energy which they can get from here. So, everything you will have to you know get information in a scientific manner, or you can say in very simpler words, you can say that information on basic biological characteristics such as age and growth is one of the fundamental scientific inputs that is essentially needed in order to take scientifically sound management decisions and go for robust policy making. So, that is regarding significance of age and growth studies, or how you can use this information, and that's all in this lecture. In next lecture, we will talk about fish age estimation, how we do fish age estimation, and what are these methods that can be used. Thank you so much.